Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it's a very different setting here today. It's raining a little bit right now. The cloud is terrible. Oh shit, it's raining a lot.
Oh God, they try to drown me in it. Oh, I cannot see.
Okay guys, I need to close my stuff here. But as you can see, I'm on the middle of nowhere. Farm life. Yeah, I've moved houses. Yes, Chile, I moved houses and yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit around. Now it's going to be very low life, high tech, that's saying. But yes, Chile, yes. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It's going to be very different from now on. Let's go. Alright everyone, now that you saw me trying to escape from the rain in the beginning of the video, you can see a little bit more. And as you saw in the intro, it's pretty much a farm here. There's nothing around and to be honest, I really like it. It's very peaceful, very quiet, and especially with our setup, that is a remote setup, everyone is working remotely. Really enjoy. It's something that really gives me a lot of time and space to focus and be able to just work on the startup that we're building. And honestly, a lot of people say, hey, you need to touch grass. Well, I think that no one can say that to me anymore. And yeah, there's this phrase that I absolutely love, which is low life, high tech. Definitely something that I'm experiencing now, and it really captures what I'm doing right now. And waking up every morning,
wakey 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 wakey, it's time for school,
with the side of the forest, with the sprawling field that you saw there right in front of the house. When you wake up to the site and I'm just able to sit down on my desk and start working, it's very different. It's really fascinating, kind of this blend of the natural tranquility and the cutting edge high tech. And I'm quite curious, is if any one of you guys experience something similar or is in a similar setting, or if you ever thought about doing something similar as well. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, the benefits are quite incredible. It's the peace and quiet really allow for that deep focus while I'm working, and when I'm going to take a break, I just step outside and enjoy the tranquility in that site. While when I step inside, then it's again high tech and very much just building the startup non-stop. Alright guys, new day, it's Tuesday. Tuesday for me is always a hackathon day. I don't have meetings, I always block my whole calendar to not have any meetings on Tuesday, be able to work a little bit on the mornings on admin stuff, and it's a day that I exclusively separate from myself to only coding and pushing the product forward. We have three major things to actually push it over the line. The first one is the Building Public dashboard, and that's basically a version 0.1 of Building Public. And that's going to allow people to basically share their revenue, their businesses, how their businesses are going. Probably if you're watching this channel, you are an indie hacker, you know what building public means. A lot of people post MRR screenshots from Stripe or other payment providers, right, on the timeline on Twitter. And we want to make sure that they have a way to share that directly through Crim. Probably that connection with Twitter coming very soon on a version 0.2. But right now, we just want to make sure that we have that dashboard that people can share, and it's going to share basically an overview of that store. We actually already have all that data. We already have endpoints that collect all the data of a specific store, but the big issue here is that this is actually protected with role access control and with authentication as well, right, from the merchants. So for us to push this over the line, we actually need to copy and create a whole new module for us for this building public functionality, so that people, the public, can actually access the data when a specific merchant is sharing it with them, right? So they're able to basically pull that data from the backend and display it on the dashboard and UI. But on the next thing that we want to push it over the line today is the payout schedule. So right now we do it on request, but as we're growing and as we are reaching a little bit of a different phase right now, it's becoming quite of a hassle for us and a lot of manual labor, especially in regards to reconciliation. So we are actually going to move into a little bit of a standard here that other platforms also do, which is twice a month payouts. So we're going to be doing them on the 1st and on the 15th of each month. And this is basically for us to have, let's say, half of a day, or maybe depending even a whole day, to be able to do those payouts and do the reconciliation properly. So we can actually separate those days. And the way that it's going to work is that the merchant is going to click on the withdraw button or the payout button, and it's going to basically put him on the queue for the next payout window that is going to be open, which again is going to be either on the 1st or the 15th of each month. Now, for the next thing and last thing that we're going to push it over the line today, at least the plan, but I think we can do it today. On Tuesdays, normally, we actually go to sleep at 3:30, 4 a.m. But the last thing that we're going to do is basically push testimonials into the landing page. And obviously, as we are payment facilitator, right, we are a merchant of record, there's a lot that we play here on trust. Right now, we have these customers graduating, already executing a couple of payouts, receiving that money on their bank account, so they know, hey, these guys are not scammers, we can actually trust them. And we went forward and asked them to do a couple testimonials for us, and if they like the product, for them to share the word a little bit and tell what they like and what they don't like as well, right? So we want to push this into the landing page, basically to help people that are still deciding on using Cream or unsure if we are a legit institution or a legit company, that we are actually here for the long term, and they can see these testimonials from other customers, other companies and other brands as well using us. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let's do it. So right now we are actually working on that payout schedule feature. It actually doesn't require a lot of coding. It's a great example of a functionality or a pain point that you can actually solve in a way that it actually is much easier than us just coding and making everything automated. This way of thinking is actually a very big advantage that startups have against big companies that need to do the best performance, the best possible solution for every single problem. So the balance page looks like this. What we want to do here is to put a little bit more information on this model and create a new documentation page as well on our docs that explains the payout process. We have that model opened here. Say that it will be executed on our next payout schedule. To read more about our payout schedule, just visit our docs. So now we probably need some type of button here that is going to bring the user to that documentation page. Grab our normal button here, very primary, default, and this button is going to go to box. That button is a little bit too big, so let's load this button here. We need to make this as a div here to be able to actually put them side by side. So let's do that. And I think we need to do a flex mode. Let's take a look. We just need a little bit of margin on that. So let's do that right now. The margin was going to be outside of the div, so we use the gap here. Good. So now we need to actually create those docs, right? If you are not familiar with Mintlify, super good. It's basically like Gitbook. I find it much better, to be honest. And you can basically do everything from your own editor. You change files as if it would be just a collection of JSON and MDX files. Our payout schedule thing here, I think that we're going to need to have a new section because it's not really related to the API integration with Cream. Alright guys, we are on our Mintlify project now, and I just created this new section, get paid/payouts. We created a new MDX file here, and we can basically just input what we're going to have on our documentation page, and Mintlify is going to translate everything from us. Let's work on the copy for this guy, and then we create the branch to merge this guy in. Yeah, that's it. Let's release this guy. Guys, look how cool this is. What the hell? Someone actually built almost like a Raspberry Pi connected to their Crim.io account, and they are pulling direct live data from Crim, so they can actually see it in real time, their sales and their revenue. This is super cool. And we are talking with them to actually have this on our blog, so that you can actually grab the code and build it as well yourself. That would be super cool. So let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with Crim. And we have started doing a lot of work with the building public functionalities that we also always wanted to bring to the platform as well. And we started getting a lot of feedback from our current existing customers on that. And we realized that, hey, for a lot of them, it makes sense to actually have different businesses and different startups inside of Crim to be able to actually showcase that to the world, and not only a single store and a single business, right? It makes complete sense. So we actually showed this to the customers recently, and we realized that, hey, we actually need to work on a workspace feature much earlier than what we thought. And that's really to allow multiple people on a single team, on a single workspace, and to allow multiple startups and multiple businesses to be processing through the same account on Crim on that same dashboard, right? So you can simply exchange and change between different startups and different accounts on the same dashboard. Alright guys, this is the dashboard we are working at, and it's super cool. You can basically showcase to the world what you are building on your startup, on your business. You can actually share super easily your MRR, what's your revenue on that startup, your number of customers, what you are currently doing on your month, and people can directly subscribe to you on this page with their email, showcasing your previous work, your current startup that you are building right now. But yeah, like I mentioned before, this is going to be something that we need to actually change a little bit with the workspaces to allow people to have not only a single graph here that is going to show what their current startup is doing, but to also allow for multiple of these guys here in combination of their single one. So you can really think about it as an indie page 2.0 if you are familiar with what Mark Lu built from indie page. But yeah, this is a super cool one that instead of us connecting to Stripe, right, we as Crim are giving you this directly, which is super cool. And you can also show what you are currently looking for, if people want to collaborate with you, what are your current challenges, your goals, so people can keep you accountable as well. And yeah, we want to make this a whole community building feature, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going to find this super useful. Instead of taking screenshots of their current Crim account, they are going to be able to just simply press the share button, and it's going to directly connect with their Twitter account as well. So yeah. And guys, there's also a lot of work going on right now under the scenes, and we're actually spending a very big chunk of time with lawyers, accountants, and all that jazz that is not really product development per se, but just making sure that we have that strong foundation to be able to scale and grow on the next new year. And this is something that is very important for us, because we need to make sure that we have all that foundation built in a way that we can automate that process and make that process more efficient, basically, right? It's a little bit of a boring on the boring side, but hey, it's necessary, right? And these are things that normally when you are a software engineer or you are working with products only, you don't really see that part of the process. But yeah, now we need to make sure that everything on that side looks good as well.